I was 12 years old and I told my mother I wanted to grow up to be a TV reporter, and I never changed my mind from that moment forward. And she was very, work hard, you can do whatever you want to do, very supportive. So after high school, I went to journalism school, and before I graduated, I got my first TV job. So I would drive up to a little TV station and anchor weekends and drive back and do classes. And then they hired me, so I worked there at my first TV job 8 months, and then I moved to Springfield, Missouri. My first one was Kirksville. And I worked there 3 years, reporter, photographer, editor, producer, anchor, reporter, like you do in a small market. And then 28 years ago, Channel 6 called me, and I've been at News on 6 for the last 28 years. Well, of course, I've been the crime reporter for the vast majority of my career. So I have been to, I don't even know, thousands of crime scenes. I think a low estimate is I've interviewed 6,000 crime victims. So you imagine a victim of a crime, and I've sat in their living room and interviewed them. Hundreds of bad guys. I've gone to prisons and sat across from rapists and robbers and killers and burglars and people on death row. I've witnessed several executions as part of my job as a crime reporter. So that's been a very hard beat to cover over the years, but it's very fulfilling because we've helped a lot of victims. We've given victims a voice. We have helped victims get justice that maybe they were being denied. So it's been very fulfilling, although emotionally hard. But that's been probably the greatest thing about being the crime reporter, is all the victims that we've been able to help along the way. And then somehow I also became the station's military reporter. I don't know, but I've traveled all over the world, more than half a dozen countries I've been to. 2 of them were war zones. I've been on aircraft carrier after aircraft carrier. I got to interview the Oklahoma Marines who rescued Captain Scott O'Grady on their ship in the Adriatic Sea, which was amazing. They still had the bullet holes in their helicopter from that rescue mission. So we've been all over the world, but always focusing on Oklahomans. That's the thing, is we don't just travel to travel. We go there to tell an Oklahoman story. How could I have ever gotten here without so many people? And of course, I work for an amazing company, Griffin Communications. I love being owned by a couple of Oklahoma men, and they love Oklahoma, and they want to do whatever we need to keep people informed and entertained and safe. So I love the company that I work for. But also, as I worked that crime beat, for 25 of that 28 years, I was assigned to one photographer. And that's a very unusual situation. So I worked with Oscar P. every day for 25 years. And we went through, I was punched in the face, we went through war zones together. We've sat in people's living rooms when they're crying, they've had a loss. I mean, that is pretty special to have said you've worked with the same person for more than 2 decades. And I believe that our stories would not have been successful without his skill, without his eye, without his editing ability, without his input. So I definitely would like to thank Oscar P. And how lucky am I that I still go to work every day and get excited about something I love. It is not what I do, it is a calling for me, it is a passion, and not everybody gets that, and I understand that's rare, and I am very grateful for that.